All right, we should be live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the fifth episode. I had to make sure I knew the right episode. The fifth episode of What's Your Genesis, my talk show. Oh, wait, and I have with me a very special guest. Her name is Spinna. If you want to say hello.
Hello, I'm on YouTube. Are you live? Oh, there you are.
I am, yes. And sometimes it takes a sec.
It was a lag. I'm like, oh my God, is he actually live? Is he? Hello, everyone. I'm your friendly neighborhood spider waifu. I do variety streaming, which basically means playing Minecraft and just chatting.
You're a variety streamer, except you don't have much variety. But
I
that's
do have
fine.
variety, but nobody watches the stuff. So I'm like, well, I have all these other games I want to play, but no
Well,
one
that's
wants to watch
just
them.
dude, that's the struggle about being a variety streamer, though. You have so
Yep,
many things you want to do, but you can't stream them because your numbers go down, or just like people just don't want to watch it. It sucks. That's why until like I've seen like and heard from from really big creators that it's like you really can't uh you have to like find like a niche and fill that until you become successful enough that you can branch out and make any kind of concept that anybody will watch.
exactly. That's why I play Minecraft most of the time.
The spider who wants to only play Minecraft, but well, wants to play more, but is playing Minecraft because that's what our viewers want.
Mm-hmm.
I totally get that. I totally get that. Oh man. I love Minecraft. I mean, for a while, I can get into Minecraft for like a month or two straight, and then I just burn myself out for the rest of the year.
I mean, I don't play a whole lot, but that's because I'm really bad at keeping a good schedule. Half the time I cancel my streams because something's going on with my life or I don't feel good. So I've been trying to do the same exact thing for like months. At this point, finally, I've gotten to where I've got blaze rods that I can use for brewing, and then I'm finally going to start brewing stuff. 'Cause I've never actually beaten the game.
You
I've
haven't.
never, I've never gotten to the end. No, I've played probably hundreds of hours, but I've never beaten the game because I usually spend
Wow.
all the time just mining or farming or fishing.
That is surprising, honestly.
I mean, I should probably just play something like Stardew Valley, which I'm going to do
Oh, highly
because,
recommend it.
yeah,
It's so fun.
um, my
Very
friend
relaxing.
Radia is gonna have people on her streams to play Stardew Valley. So I'm like, an excuse to go on to Radia's stream. Hell
That's
yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, Radia's pretty awesome too. Like I've seen clips of her and like I've briefly tuned into her streams here and there. I do like I wish I had more time to tune into everyone's streams for more than like 10 minutes, but ADHD kind of lets me lose
Understandable.
focus.
I I tend to have streams on as like background noise most of the time. So it's and in fact the only person I really watch a whole lot, well no, I watch two people. And they're not VTubers at all. So I watch a ton of Hasanabi for background noise, and then I watch a lot of Doug Doug. But I don't watch as much
I
Doug Doug
love
because
Doug
Doug Doug
Doug.
he doesn't stream as much. Although he was streaming today, so I was watching that before this.
I love it. I love his YouTube content. I can't
hmm
like his YouTube content is so entertaining. And
I I started watching his streams because I loved his YouTube content, and I'm like, I need to be there at the time when these crazy things happen, so that I can like witness it firsthand
yeah.
and maybe be able to type "I was here" in chat.
Oh man, you're one of those people I see.
I'm He's the only streamer I'm subbed to on Twitch.
Oh
The only one I will
really?
pay. Yeah, he's the only one that I have like any kind of active like membership to.
That's fair. I think that for me, I think I have like ever since Ludwig's chess boxing event, I subbed for
Uh,
his YouTube membership, the $1 membership that he has set up.
mhm.
I was like, I got to support this guy. It's only $1 a month, and this guy is so entertaining. Especially with like that chess boxing event was one of the most
Oh yeah.
entertaining things I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I watched it because my favorite YouTuber was on it and I needed to support him. And he won, so I'm very happy. So
Yeah. Who's your favorite YouTuber?
Mr. Affable himself,
Ah,
Chris Broad.
Chris Broad. Yeah, Chris
I love
Broad's
Abroad in
awesome.
Japan. I watched
That
every
was such a
single
good
Abroad in Japan
fight.
episode.
Dude,
Yes, it
it
was.
was the
Oh my
best fight of
god.
the night in my opinion. I think Chris
Even though the
Broad.
actual
Oh,
everything was sloppy and messy, and
yeah.
the chess match was just what's it called when you fuck up? There's a sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss. What's it called when you screw up the queen, when you lose the queen? Oh, shit.
I don't know. I don't remember the specific call that is.
And I watched the Queen's Gambit. I should know this. No. And I watched the last chess tournament, the last streamer chess tournament that Connor was on. So I know the term and I just can't think of it.
I can't. I mean, I know it's a
Ollie was on
fumble.
it. That's why I watched it. I watched it because Ollie was playing. So I'm like, I gotta support the zombie.
Oh my
Fumble!
gosh.
Fumble the queen! No. Yes. Yes? No.
Wait,
Blunder. Blunder the queen.
blunder.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, when Chris blundered his queen, it was like, oh no! But he managed to hold out. And then the slap turn like
Dude,
slap
yeah,
fight at
the ending,
end.
the slap fight was so good. I liked it. I'm glad, part of me, the caveman part of my brain's like, slap harder. But the other part of my brain is like, I'm glad they didn't hit each other that hard for their own safety. It's like,
Yeah. Well, so you know the story behind that, right? Like what
because
originally was gonna
Connor
happen?
can't punch, right? I mean, he can't like get
No.
punched. Well, it's supposed to be
No.
someone else fighting Ludwig. It's
No,
supposed to
no.
be XQC, right?
Uh XQC was the one before. He actually asked Charlie, Moist Critical, to do it first.
Oh, really?
Because Charlie is like the king of slap fight.
True, true.
Like that's his favorite sport in the world. So he Ludwig asked him first and he said, "No, I'm not going all the way over to California." And because he's going to have to do a road trip. Charlie doesn't fly. So he's like, "No,
Yeah.
I'm not, and I don't want to get hit in the face. So I don't want to do it." And so they asked XQC to do it. And XQC is the flakiest guy on Twitch. I've eaten croissants that were less flaky than XQC. Like, oh my god! Like the fact that every time there's something that Cutie Cinderella or Ludwig does, like some sort of event, the creator camp, I think was the other thing over the summer.
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, I'll do it," and then he just ghosts on them, and it's like I can't deal with that guy.
And he can't even say, you can't even give them a heads up, like, I won't be able to do this, that, like, I don't know. It's just, to me, I personally don't enjoy watching XQC. I'm not gonna say he's a bad creator, but to me, he doesn't entertain me.
He farms drama too. Like, Hassan's given him so many chances, and like they'll be friends for a moment, and then XQC is like, my moment to shit on Hassan and get cred.
Jesus.
And like his chat hates Hassan, so it's kind of like they feed off each other. And I realize not everyone. I realize Hassan is a very, very, very polarizing person, but like if you are in the same political vein that I am and you actually listen to what he says a lot of shit that he doesn't actually mean. He's trying to be funny, and sometimes it just misses the mark, and people take it the wrong way, and they're jealous of him, and they tend to just want to cancel him because they're jealous of the fact that he's talks about socialist ideology and tries to educate people on socialism, and then B, he makes enough money from streaming that he can afford to have a nice house where he can have people stay over and have lots of rooms. I understand. I understand completely where he's coming from. But anyway, so like anytime XQC and Hassan are going at it, it's like I just lose more and more
interest.
Like respect, any kind of shred of respect I might have ever even had for XQC is gone. So yeah, going back to going back to chess boxing, he did the same thing. Like he said he was going to be there.
Yep, he flaked.
And he flaked. He actually almost flaked. He was an hour or something late to his own game show that Ludwig was helping run.
Oh my
So
god.
the dude, like, holy fuck. So yeah, last minute, uh, Ludwig asks, "Hey Connor, do you want to do this thing?" And Connor's like, "Yeah, sure."
Yep.
Not really thinking
Honestly, I think that it was so much
what
better
was
with
gonna
Connor,
happen.
in all honesty.
Oh yeah,
I thought that's so good. That came down to the last second.
that last clutch second. Yeah, that you can't
Oh
get
my
more
god.
entertainment than that. That's like
Uh,
peak
and
YouTube
I
right
hate
there.
sports. I would nenever watch boxing, but because it was Ludwig hosting it and it was chess boxing, he kept hyping it up.
Yeah.
He was really good at hyping it up. And also, smash boxing was pretty cool too. Like that.
Yeah. Well,
The second round, the first
concept was great.
match. The first match was kind of bad. The second match, in my opinion, was actually really good for the chess smash boxing.
Yeah.
It could have been better though, but yeah.
I grew up watching boxing because my dad and my uncle liked watching it, and they would pay for the pay-per-view matches and that kind of thing. I even went to an actual boxing match. So like, and I learned sparring, not boxing sparring, but like martial arts type sparring at a young age. So I kind of like I understand what I'm looking at, and so like the fighting, I came in going, this fighting isn't going to be the worst. This is going to be bad. And I was right. It was terrible. And then the chess was also not great. But for some reason, the combination of shitty boxing and bad chess just makes for the greatest entertainment.
It
And I
does.
just do not care that it was like, this is really bad. I do appreciate the fact that the refs would stop it before anybody ever got a chance to get hurt.
Yeah, yeah.
Except for that one match with the women. Like, I do not agree with how that ended up. I thought the other girl
yeah,
should
I
have won.
heard. Yeah. I heard about that. Like that was big drama going on, and yeah, that sucked. Like that other girl should have
Yeah.
won because yeah, the like she got was it the standing count 3 times,
Mm-hmm.
so she should have
But
been out.
yeah, yeah.
Actually, I want to go back to Doug real quick because you did say you love watching
Yeah.
Doug.
I love Doug. He's my favorite.
Have you heard like because a larger creator friend of mine recommended me a video of not Ludwig Doug's videos that literally has stuck with me since I watched it, which is his take about how consecration is like opening a burger shop.
Oh, it's his content creation video.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
he did. That's like a couple out, like an hour long.
It's so I only
Um,
watched like the first like the 20-30 minutes, but that take about like
Mhm.
consecration, if you want to stand out, everyone in here is trying to
Yep.
make a burger. You got to make something special. You got to make your burger stand out from the rest.
Yep. I didn't watch it on YouTube. I watched his commentary on he watched it and then talked about it.
Really?
Super meta. No, but yeah, it stuck with me, but at the same time I'm like, there's a billion people out there that are trying to do the same thing, and there's so many VTubers out there that I'm just like, you know what? I'm not even gonna bother trying to do this as like I wasn't even coming into it as a career, and I'm not even gonna try doing it to be famous or anything. I'm just gonna do this
Yeah.
because I enjoy doing it, and I'm gonna do what I enjoy doing. And if people want to watch me, it's because they enjoy me, not, I don't do anything special because I don't have any talent. And I don't have
Oh
any
God! Why am I looking in a mirror?
but I do have good ideas every once in a while, but they're not anything super unique. But I do have a unique idea. I don't want to spoil it just yet, but coming up next week, I
Ooh.
do have a my own interview show that I'm starting, and
Oh, that's awesome.
and it's not just a talk show kind of thing like this. It's not just like a, hey, tell me about yourself. In the general sense, it's a little bit more than that. It's different. It's kind of,
Yeah.
without giving too much away. Prism Splay's Kinkucation streams.
I don't think so. I've never heard. I don't know of a Prism
You
Space.
don't know Prism Splay? Oh my God, she's the coolest unicorn, disco unicorn. Anyway, she does these. She and Mimcubus and I can't remember the third person have a thing called Monster Island, and it's a very sex positive place, and Prism does like every so often kinkication streams where she talks about someone's kink. When I was on it, I talked about being vanilla. So that was like being a vanilla person in a kink positive space was a very interesting conversation.
Oh boy,
But
I wonder the kind of what kind of conversation I'd have with her if I ever got that chance. As somebody who openly talks about being into feet,
oh, I'm sure. I think she's had feet people on before.
probably.
I don't understand the feet thing. I feel like it's a meme at this point. Like people just like, I like feet. I'm like,
Well, I think it's
do you
more a
really?
meme that I feel like it's more of a meme that people like claim they don't like feet at this point. Is
No,
more of the
feet are
meme.
nasty. What are you talking about? They're so gross. And people don't take care of their toenails and they get yellow and they like have hairy toes.
Well, I think that's
And-
disgusting too. I do think
Yeah,
that's
so
gross.
I don't understand. Feet are nasty.
If people
I'm
take
like,
care of them,
women-
I don't know. I find them
Women's
attractive.
feet are gross too because women wear high heels and high heels cause bunions. Have you ever seen a foot with bunions?
Believe me, I've
They
seen my
are
fair.
gross.
I've seen some gross
Have you
feet.
ever seen? Have you ever seen a ballerina's? You know, ballerina. Oh gosh, they're so
Oh,
pretty.
God,
And their feet are so pointy. Their feet are so gross. They're like naughty, nadgy. Blah. Feet are nasty. Like, okay, if you wash your feet and your feet are not like super duper duper gross, like you keep pretty good hygiene and everything. Sure, I'll give you a foot rub, but I'm not getting anything out of it. Like I do. I think a nice pair of female feet, like the idealized thing, yeah, that's great. VTuber models have great feet. That's not what real feet look like. Real feet are nasty, and they smell. Like I have these nasty calluses on the backs of my heels I can't get rid of, and there's like dirt in them, and I just cannot get it. Like it's just awful. I'm like,
Well, I
hate
know that
these.
there are people who have bad feet, but that's not like. Listen, there's some people who are into the bad feet. I'm not one of them.
I know. What's wrong with them? They're so gross.
And there's also people who are into like shoes, like like big.
I get the shoe thing. Like, and I can understand the whole
How?
thing, wanting to get stepped on.
I don't get that. I don't get that. As a foot person, I don't get that.
I don't know. Just talk to Phil. He loves it. He seems to like thrive off getting stepped on. I don't know. Maybe it's part of the
Oh
reason
my
why
God.
he chose to be a crab.
Oh
But-
my god.
Like, I don't know.
Uh.
I think the idealized version of a foot is fine. Like the artistic form of a foot, aesthetically, if the toes are in the right proportion and there's nothing wrong with it, is fine. Feet in practice are disgusting. No joke.
Yes.
And if anybody wants to touch my feet, like for giving me foot rubs, you are a saint. I usually have to pay people to do it. Like I will pay you money to touch my feet because I do not like. I mean, and the thing is I don't wear high heels, like at all. I wear flat shoes because my feet are flat. I have flat arches,
Yeah.
and I don't enjoy wearing high heels. I get like really bad foot cramps. And my toes are a nice proportion. My big toe is longer than the other toes. I don't like it where the big toe is like a short knobby thing, and then like the second toe is like super long,
know,
and it's like
I was supposed to be the one in the feet. You're the foot like critic in this conversation here. You're criticizing. You're like you. Oh my god.
feet. Okay, I think about these things. It's not like something that I don't think. Like just because I don't like it doesn't mean I don't think about it. I have to have reasons why I don't like it. I've come to this conclusion over the course of many years of my life. Like also partly because my mom made me rub her feet when I was a child, so that's probably a big part of it. So I'm just like I'm not great with feet. My husband doesn't really like his feet being touched, so I'm like, this is great, and he doesn't mind giving me foot rubs, so I'm like, this is awesome.
Oh my god. So my chat said feet.
I am a
Let's see.
taker, not a giver.
So my chat said feet weird. Being stepped on by high heels good? Question mark.
You are cutting out on Discord.
Oh, my internet's dying. Give me a sec. I think it's come
know.
back. Sometimes my internet does that. Also, I might have to be right back because my family apparently is just called my phone. So if you would like to, you can briefly talk to chat. I do apologize. I hate when this happens. The one downside living with family, but I will be back in like hopefully like a minute. I'm gonna try to be back quick. So I apologize.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. High heels do look nice. I think high heels, like the aesthetic of shoes, I love it. I don't get like the sexual thing for. I mean, I do. I do. A sexy pair of red stilettos, or like really tall platform things with like the spiky heel and like anything that Lady Gaga wears. I'm just like, that's sex. I love it. Um, she's worn some really amazing shoes over the years. Like that's one of her things that like I enjoyed watching about her music videos. Like there's these things where there's no back, there's no heel, you just balance, and I'm like, that's wild. Yeah, but the uncomfortable
Apologize, I'm
ones still
back.
exist. They are uncomfortable. Sometimes if a good pair of high heels will be comfortable to wear, and if you put in the right kind of insert, then it's actually not that bad. But I don't wear high heels in general. Just my mom doesn't, and so I don't. She also doesn't wear makeup,
I don't
so
think
I don't.
I can't understand how anyone could wear high heels. It sounds super painful.
It's not if you have the right like type of shoe. I have some high heels that I can wear for a few hours before I like start to like be unable to stand. Mostly I like wedges, like heeled wedges, like wedge sandals. I can wear those all day. The part that becomes painful isn't if they're a well-made shoe. The part that becomes painful isn't going to be like the bottom of your foot. It's actually the part where it touches your foot. So if you have a lot of the thing is when you're wearing a high heel, you've got gravity working against you, and so your foot gets pushed down. And so if the shoe isn't like if the top of the shoe isn't constructed properly, or you're not wearing like pantyhose or something over your foot to protect it, you can get blisters, and that's not fun. But
As someone
the
who I used to get blisters just off wearing shoes normally, and have like as somebody who would
that
get
sounds like you
frequent.
were wearing not good fitting shoes.
No, they weren't for the longest time. I think it's because I like to wear the flat-footed Van shoes, like the
Oh, yeah.
checkers. And because
Uh-uh.
I wore those would rub against the back of my heel and would rub it
Mm-hmm.
raw and cause blisters. But I'd still wear them because I liked how they looked at the time, and I had flat feet. Now my mom has forced me to wear shoes long enough that my feet now have developed a slight arch.
I wear either what are they called? Birkenstock sandals, which I've been wearing the same pair for like 12 years at this point.
Oh,
Like
really?
these they last and they are worth the cost. And I wear ASIC running shoes
Ah,
for walking
gotcha.
in. And I bought a pair of non-ASIC running shoes the last time around, and was not a fan. So I because I run, so the shoe is the most important thing when you're running. And if you
Yeah.
don't have the right type of shoe, you are screwed. The new pair I got this past weekend are so squishy, and I'm like, I don't know if I can wear them to run in, but walking in, it's like walking on memory foam. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
I care a lot about shoes and feet. I think about these things a lot. More than I've realized that other people don't. Like that's the thing that makes it weird to me. It's like you don't think about these things? What do you think about? And people are like nothing. I'm like,
My
well, that's
mind is a
boring.
void.
That's boring. Why not think about things? Think about all of the things all the time.
Yeah, be like me, where I literally give myself like an existential crisis, like at least once a week, just because I think myself back myself in a corner just with my own thoughts.
Oh, no, no, you have to like learn how to harness your thoughts to think about like whenever I catch myself going into those things, I go, time to distract myself. Like I've learned to catch myself before I go into the spiral. And you do it enough time, you spiral enough times. If you have enough how do I want to say this, a self-awareness, you know yourself and what your triggers are, you can learn how to pick that up. Some people don't know how to do that, and so you have to learn it at therapy, or self-help books or whatever. But I'm pretty good at reading myself. I'm pretty critical of my behavior, so when I do things, I go, why did I do that? What were the external causes? What were the internal causes? Why did I do these things? And I try to avoid those triggers. So certain shows or whatever will like trigger existential dread, and as soon as like
Oh,
I
I can't
start to
watch horror
go,
movies. I cannot watch horror movies.
horror movies don't do it for me. Actually, one thing that I really wish I could watch, but it really freaks me out, is Mythical Kitchen's series that they do called Last Meals, because they talk about death.
Oh,
And
about like people's last requests, like the last
mhm,
meal they get as their last request.
I've
Oh,
watched like two of them. I watched the one with Tom Hanks and I watched the one with Link. And Link doesn't want to talk about death, like it makes him freaked out, so he didn't talk about it. So it was fine. And the Tom Hanks one was just cool because it's Tom Hanks. And so like I can't. Josh, the mythical chef Josh, likes to talk about death, and I just, as soon as he starts doing that, I go, I'm out. I can't watch this. Um, so
yeah.
it's a really interesting interview show, but I cannot sit through it. Um,
I mean, that's fair. I mean,
yeah.
show that I cannot. There's a movie my uncle had on while family was over at his place or at my grandma's
Hmm.
place because he lived with my grandma. He had on a movie called The Happening, which, if you don't
I've
know that
heard of
movie,
it.
it's a movie about I can't remember what caused it. I think it's like a nature plants started releasing a new chemical into
Oh,
the air.
was that stupid M. Night Shyamalan movie?
It probably was about people committing unalive, as I'm going to say, because it is YouTube. I'm going to say,
Uh,
and it may sound stupid, but
oh
the way
yeah,
they
no.
executed it was actually like, if you watched it,
Mm-mm.
it was very uncomfortable. I'm not going
I
to say it
didn't
was
watch.
bad, but it was uncomfortable to
I didn't
watch.
watch a single M. Night Shyamalan movie after The Sixth Sense. He is a terrible director. So I actually enjoy horror movies if they're done right. He's not good. He is to me like the horror movie version of Stephen King. Stephen King, I don't Stephen King is great for the atmosphere and setup. He fumbles the end every single time. Um like the one Stephen King movie that like movie based on one of his books that I like is The Shining, and that's because Stanley Kubrick changed the end and made it better. Because the
Really?
end, I read the book because I'm like, oh, I love The Shining. I'm going to read the book. And I read it and I'm like, this is the stupidest bullshit I have ever fucking read.
Isn't
Like,
Goosebumps written by Stephen King?
no, that's R.L. Stein.
R.L. Stein. Okay, gotcha.
Hmm.
I
I
remember
loved
Goosebumps
Goosebumps.
creeping me out a lot.
I loved them. I loved it so much. Like, see, the thing is, I used to be a very, very scared person. Certain things do give me a lot of anxiety. But I have such a very strong will. So anything that I can do to like fight it. Um, so
Yeah.
like when I was 8, my dad took me to see Jurassic Park, and I was terrified because this was back when the movie was brand new, and it was in theaters, and I really wanted to see it because of dinosaurs, and I loved dinosaurs. But after I saw that movie, I knew like my dad, like I had gone to bed, but I wasn't going to be able to sleep because I ADHD and I had insomnia my entire life. So I can't just fall asleep. And if something was even slightly terrifying, it was going to be keeping me awake. So I knew that I was scared that there was like a Tyrannosaurus Rex outside my window was going to look in.
Oh
Like
my god.
I was so scared that a T-Rex was just going to like eat me. And then I got up because I'm like a scared child. And I'm like, I'm trying to find my dad to give me comfort. And I go in the living room and I hear the TV's on, but I go in the living room and he's not there. And I'm like, what? Where did my dad go? uh,
Oh no.
and like I knew that a velociraptor had eaten him. Like
You just knew.
I was convinced that he was eaten by a velociraptor. And like the one scene where the what's her name is walking through and like the arm falls on his shoulder or on her shoulder, and it's
Uh,
like
I've only seen
dismembered arm.
Jurassic Park like once. I don't even think I only saw
Oh
snippets.
no. Okay, well,
I've seen like I don't know Jurassic Park like the whole series except for Jurassic
really?
World. Like I've seen Jurassic World all the way through. I've seen Jurassic World
Oh
what's the second
no.
one? But
Jurassic
Jurassic
Park is
uh,
it's like the perfect movie, man. It's so good. It's so
I've watched
good.
the majority. So, like I've seen the kitchen scene, I've seen the bathroom scene, I've seen them in the Jeep.
Hmm.
I think actually Maybe I did see the whole movie recently, but I think I might have missed like so I saw a lot more of it recently.
Oh, yeah, no.
It's
My
a good
husband would
movie.
cancel you. My husband would cancel you. It's his favorite movie in the
Why?
entire world. It's
Oh
his
my
favorite
god.
movie. He loves dinosaurs. Um, no, but like I was convinced that a velociraptor had eaten my dad. And then I found out that he was just in the bathroom and just not making any noise for some reason. Like, so I was fine after that. But um, for a very long time, the music would scare me. Like I'd hear the music and I'd get a little bit like
Even the da
mild
da
anxiety
da
attack.
da like that.
But I also loved it. So like I loved it and I was scared at the same time. And so I would like try to force myself to be okay with it. Like one of my favorite animated movies when I was a very, very small child was Dumbo. And yet there's
Ah.
an entire scene in that movie that scared the shit out of me. And that was the pink elephant scene. But I was determined to get through that movie watch it over and over again. And so like I'd do whatever I could to get through that pink elephant scene without just fast forwarding the VHS because that's a pain in the butt. And I was like 3.
You actually reminded me of a story I had. The whole thing about you staring at your window. Like it sent me down memory lane because there was a night I want to say, I've had this strangest reoccurring like issue as a kid. It's not so much as an adult, but I swear I can remember like 7 very vivid nightmares through like growing up about werewolves. I'd have so many
Werewolves.
nightmares about wolves and werewolves. I had one about
Really?
vampires, but it's not often. But werewolves were like wolves in general just were a big fear of mine in my nightmares. I didn't really care like outside of my dreams, but in dreams
Hmm.
they were the scariest thing ever. And your
Huh.
whole thing about a window reminded me. I woke up once and like from a nightmare about werewolf, and I'm looking out my window. I think it was like 3 a.m. But the light was just bare, like 3 or 4 a.m. I don't know, early enough where light was just starting to come through my window, and I laid there till 11 a.m. Reason being, I'm staring at my window because at the time, my blinds, which I don't have anymore, my blinds had frayed strings, and those frayed strings
Hmm.
were peeking out just the side of my curtains. And so it kind of looked like there were whiskers like sticking out from my blinds behind my curtain or whatever. And so I'm sitting there like there's a werewolf sitting in my window.
Oh my goodness. I had moments like that, but with like monsters under my closet or like the movie Gremlins.
I still can't watch. I've never
I
finished
can't
the movie
watch Gremlins.
Gremlins.
I can't. I don't even know if I've ever sat through it once. When the previews for the second movie, because I don't think I was born when the first one came out, or if I was like literally an infant, so I don't have memories of it. But when I was like 2 or 3, maybe 4, and the second one was getting like previews on TV. Every time a preview would come up, I'd run to the bedroom and hide in my
That's
parents'
me. That's me
bathroom.
with every horror movie, especially. But Gremlins to me, like my family tried to get me to watch Gremlins, and like they were like getting super upset I didn't want to watch it, but I couldn't because it scared the shit out of me. These little
I
monsters.
I couldn't. I don't like Furbies because they're too close to Mogwais. Like I just
Oh,
they're.
that's probably why I don't like them. Yeah.
But let's see. What else was I
Oh,
really
chat,
really
chat.
terrified of?
Someone in chat just goes, "What the fuck? I love Gremlins."
Oh, I was terrified of E.T. That's another thing that wasn't supposed to be scary that
I
scared
never
the
finished
shit
that
out of me.
movie, but it probably would have freaked me out as a kid.
E.T. is just scary looking. He's all like looks like a
Kind
wrinkly
of,
ball
yeah.
sack, but like I don't know. There's something wrong with. He's just. I cannot. I can't. He just.
E.T. is the salad fingers of aliens.
And yeah, and like I wouldn't eat Reese's Pieces for the longest time because I associated it with that movie because that was like a major tie-in to the
Wait,
movie.
Reese's Pieces were like related to E.T.?
And see, there it's pronounced Reese's Pieces, but people call it Reese's Pieces because of that movie.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. But
Mm-hmm.
okay, note to self, no scary movies with Jen. Oh my god. Listen, I'm not the biggest fan of them. I know a lot of people are. It's actually been a big problem in some like in a couple of my romantic relationships because they're just
Aw.
like, "You don't like horror." It's like I don't. Like for me, when I watch a horror movie, it's like the thing about me and fear. It's the same with horror games. I will only ever stream a horror game for content. That's it. I do it because I act like a little wuss. Um,
Uh-huh.
for me, when I get scared, I literally feel my heart start to beat so fast it's gonna beat out of my chest, and I start
Hmm.
to actually get like an anxiety attack going. I do not like that feeling.
Um, I've tried. I hate that feeling too, and that's why I work to desensitize myself. And so now things like Eldritch horror, which I didn't know about as a child. I know it would have just like scared the shit out of me. But
Like
Eldritch horror
Cthulhu
now,
and all that.
yeah, yeah, or cosmic horror, anything like the void or the other beings that are the ancient gods and all that stuff. Like that all would have scared the absolute shit out of me as a child, and it didn't exist back then that I know of. Like, I guess it did, but it wasn't on my radar. So like that might be why I really love it now. But in general, things that used to that would have scared me as a kid, I gravitate towards. Now, there's a one exception to that, and that's zombies. I didn't care about zombies as a child. It didn't really dawn on me to be scared of
Wait, so
them.
are you scared of them now?
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair. You know, zombies are kind of terrifying. Like
Like,
they're so, like I can't watch like most zombie movies even now. I refuse to watch zombie
uh-uh.
movies. I
So,
refuse.
so like,
I'll
I
I'll play
watched
Left 4 Dead, but I can't watch zombie movies.
the game, or sorry, the movie 28 Days Later. 28 Days Later was fine because they're not dead. That's the thing. It turns out they have to be dead. I don't care about the epidemic like virus
What
type.
about Zombieland?
No, I never watched it. I won't watch it.
I relate. I
So
relate.
the thing that triggered it for me was watching the was it the Night of the Living Dead? No, not the Dawn of the Dead. The
Ooh,
the Dawn of
okay.
the Dead remake that they did that came out in like early 2000s. I watched it. I'm not like an adult at this point. I watch it, and then it like something like snapped in me, and I was like for about a month or two afterwards afraid to do things like walk by myself at night because I just to my car in like a parking lot. Just I knew that something was going to run at me. Um, but over time, I've sort of gotten over it. So things like I can play Plants vs Zombies now. Like that doesn't affect me.
I
And then
hope it wouldn't because that's not that scary of a game.
and like The Last of Us, I loved The Last of Us, but
Oh,
again, they're not zombies
it's a
exactly.
parasite. It's a parasite.
It's a parasite. It's
Dude,
a
I
fungal
wish.
parasite,
I
and they don't
wish.
look human. They look plant like at that
Yeah,
point. So they're not. It's not rotting corpses.
and I really
Like
wish I'd
Shaun
never
of the Dead
seen.
freaked me out. I enjoyed it, but it freaked me out. So I just
Yeah,
don't watch those things.
that's fair. I wish I'd never watched anyone play through The Last of Us just so I could have played it myself. But it's like I already know the whole story basically, and so it's like, what's the point in playing it if I already know everything?
I am not gonna play a game like that just because I don't have the time. So I don't
Ah,
mind watching stories. Like I really was into it. I even listened to the podcast that was hosted by Troy Baker. And he talked to Craig Mazin and Neil
DeGrasse Tyson.
Blom. No, Blom. The guy, one of the game writers. The two guys that wrote the show. Um,
Ah,
Craig Mazin is the guy that was created Chernobyl, the show. So
okay.
yeah. So basically, I was gonna watch it regardless. I'm like the Craig Mazin series. I'm gonna watch it. I don't care. And so I listened to the podcast because I like listening to I like hearing him talk about his process. Because I did the same thing for Chernobyl. I listened to him like the podcast for every episode that HBO put out because I really really like his stuff. But I also at that point I was really into nuclear disasters and that kind of thing. So I just wanted to learn everything I could about it.
Yeah, yeah. Dude, nuclear disaster stuff is very interesting. I mean, that's why I love Fallout, the Fallout franchise. I mean, before
Uh,
76, like Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3 were really good to me. Fallout 4 was pretty good, but looking back on it, I think New Vegas is still a better game.
I don't like open world games, so I'll never play it
I'm not the biggest fan either.
But
I gotta be honest because I get
the aesthetic
lost.
is the aesthetic is cool. The thing is it's not realistic at all. So it's kind of like it doesn't really help. I mean, it's like
Your
I guess
immersion.
I do enjoy the dystopian sci-fi. Like I love dystopian societal regrowth kind of things. Like I love that genre. Where it's after, post-apocalyptic dystopia. That's it. Anything that's like that, I love it. But just because of the fact that the way the game is, it's just not my thing. Now, if it was a show or a movie or a book, I'd be into it, but not as a game. I like my games to be very simple and uh self-explanatory. Like Stray was the closest thing to an open world type game like that I'll ever play.
Stray was pretty good, but yeah, it was a little open world. I can totally understand not liking them. For me, I love open world games, but I also hate them because I never finish them. Like
Yeah.
I think Fallout 3 is the only one I beat, but even then, I don't know. I do like more immersive games for the most part. Like I also linear games. Like for me, my favorite franchise, at least before 343 took over, is Halo. I absolutely adore
Ah,
Halo. Like Halo
mm.
1 through Halo Reach. Everything. I love that series.
Um, the most I know about Halo is Red versus Blue.
I love Red versus Blue. I love it. It's a good series.
I watched like the first 5 seasons of it, and then after that, I just kind of
You,
didn't.
season 8 is I think was it season 7 or 8 when they really kicked it into high gear because they added animation, like custom animation into it, and
Yeah,
it was really good, honestly.
I just lost it. To me, it lost its mark when it became about story and not about just stupid shit.
That's
I liked
fair.
this.
That's
I like.
very fair.
I liked the stupid shit. Like I back in the day, I watched Aqua Teen Hunger Force. So I mean, like I liked the stupid shit that was just like dumb people being stupid. Like that was my thing. So when they started getting plot in there, I was like, I don't care.
Chat's freaking out. Also, like for what? Oh, is my internet dying? Or am I good? Hold on. OBS is saying I'm losing frames. So I'm wondering if my internet's dying. Am I
OBS
good?
bad. You look
Uh,
fine to me on my end, but I
okay.
don't.
I don't know. OBS is being
I have
weird.
your stream up. I don't see anything.
Yeah, I don't know. It's maybe it's my internet just bugging out. It's also weird because before this, I also did an internet speed test, and apparently it's saying like I'm used to seeing 30 megabyte upload, but for some reason it said I have a 70 megabyte upload right now. Don't know
Oh.
what that's about.
Hmm.
But also, chat was saying for one, New Vegas was peak Fallout. I do agree with you there, Greg. Especially after playing it recently. And then Bats, another VTuber in my chat said, Spinna active, ayo, yay. They're really happy about that. And then Bats also said, me too, Spinna, love RVB. It was all of the one-liners.
Yeah, yeah. Like, oh man, I don't even remember them anymore.
They're all good, honestly.
Something
There's so
about
many good
a
ones.
donut. That's all I remember.
Donut.
Yeah,
Was such a good character for one-liners. He was.
yeah, yeah.
Caboose really was amazing to me. I love
Yeah, that's
Caboose.
right, Caboose. But yeah, no, I watched these all like I went through a backlog of them in 2008 because I was staying in a hacienda that had no internet.
Ah,
So like I knew that I had no internet, so I had downloaded all of them to watch at night while I was there. So
gotcha. Gotcha,
back
gotcha.
back in the day before everybody had internet everywhere. I
Yeah.
didn't even have like a really good cell phone, so I had no phone service in the place because it was out in the middle of the mountains in New Mexico. So
I miss having, honestly, I really miss having a massive box TV. Like before flat screens were a thing, like we had a box TV. That screen was the size of a flat screen TV, but the
yeah,
back of it was massive as well because it's a box TV. But I
yeah, those
loved
things are
that
so
TV.
heavy.
It was
They're
very
s-
heavy.
they're
Uh,
so heavy, and the screen quality wasn't great either.
no, but like as a kid, for me, that's like,
Oh yeah, you have a big screen TV. Oh my God, I'm gonna go
yeah.
over there and watch Aladdin on your big screen TV.
For
That's so
me, it was
cool.
Pokemon and VHS.
Oh, see, that was after my time.
that makes sense. I guess that makes sense. Also, someone in chat just did a
Hmm.
good quote. I forgot. That's a really good quote from RVV. This tank has 6 pedals and only 4 directions. Oh my god. Oh, it's so good. Oh man.
But
Uh,
yeah, no, my like your favorite game series is that my favorite game series is Portal. So
oh, I love Portal. Portal 1 and 2 are
like
so good.
that's the kind of game that I like playing is like the a puzzle game where
I have
you
to
have
ask
to
then.
oh,
Have you played Portal Stories Mel?
no. What's that?
Oh, okay.
Is that the
You
one where you're somebody who is working for the Aperture?
I think kind of. It's like it's a prequel to Portal 2 basically. It's how they modded it. So it tells its own story. It's like you hear Cave Johnson talk a lot, or actually I don't
Hmm.
think Cave
Hmm.
Johnson talks a lot during that one. But like it has its own story, own portal guns. It has like the I think that's where the adventure sphere comes from.
Hmm.
If you haven't played it, you should totally like
Is it
it.
on Steam?
It is. You just have to have Portal 2 installed, and then you install Portal Stories Mel. It's its own game on Steam. I believe it's free
Hmm.
too.
I'll have to look into it.
It might be free. I don't know if it's free. I can't remember, but it's good. Other than that, there's also Portal Reloaded, which is
No.
another really good one, but it's hard because Portal Reloaded has time travel mechanics, and that makes it so much harder.
Oh, that's a mod. That's not official.
I know that one. Well, I know. Neither is Portal Stories Mel. They're both made by
Oh,
modders.
that's why I don't know about them because
Well,
I'm a snob and I only play things that are by the developers.
I highly recommend Mel though. That one is good. That one is like honestly,
Okay.
its story in my opinion is just as good as the original Portal 2.
Mm.
So
Okay.
I think it was really well told. Reloaded is literally it's mind fuckery because time travel mechanics of Portal
Yeah.
it goes well, but God is it hard.
I watched a little bit of my friend Borbox trying to play it and I said, nope.
Oh, Borbox. I should talk to him at some point because I know of him through another another friend of mine, Nariko.
Hmm.
So oh man. Oh, speaking
Yeah,
of
he's one of
friends,
Nariko Sai's mods.
yeah. No, oh man, I interviewed Nariko. God, how many months? Quite a few months back. And man, I'm so happy to see Nariko's success. She just deserves to grow. She's
Yeah,
so
she kind of
entertaining.
I feel like she shot past me. No
Maybe.
jealousy. No jealousy or anything.
Yeah. Well, I feel like in the consecration scene, you should never be jealous. It's always just be
Her
happy.
model is so good, so I'm just kind of like, shit.
Her
Okay.
model is really, really good. It really is. She's gonna freak out, by the way. Maybe if she sees this, I don't know. She always freaks out whenever I show her clips of people talking good about her. I also
Tell her.
introduced.
Like, great, you're gonna tell it like she's gonna find out. Oh my God, Spinna's jealous of me. What?
Oh my god. Oh
No,
man.
I got over that a long time ago. Like that was just when she was brand new. I was like, but that's probably because Boar kept talking about her, and if he hadn't like talked about her so much, I probably wouldn't have cared as much. But he was
Yeah, yeah.
kept bringing it up, and I'm like, oh, wait.
Oh man. I'm also very happy that you became friends with an old friend of mine, Liz Justice.
Yeah, I got to hang out with Liz a couple weeks ago when she was down in MegaCon.
Oh, that's awesome. Like yeah, I met Liz in VR chat in 2020,
Oh,
and
cool.
yeah, she's awesome. And it's another one of my friends. I'm just like she deserve. I even told her back when she was starting out, like when she had like only 10 average viewers. I'm like, I like you're gonna go places. You're super
Hmm.
entertaining.
I love Liz. I love playing. Just talking to her is great.
It is.
She's just so funny.
I
Like, she's
ah.
part of my wife chat. Um, me, Radia, and I can't. How do I
Gigi.
work? Gigi,
Gigi.
Gargoyle. Yeah. We're all in a little Discord group called Wife Chat, and so we're like in our own little wife club. We're all wives with each other.
That's awesome. That's
Hmm.
awesome. Yeah, no, man, Liz, when I chatted with her on when I interviewed her before I had this whole set. Ended up chatting with her for 4 hours straight. S-
Yeah, she'll do that.
She definitely will. I mean, that happened in my last episode too. I think that was just because I had a lot of fun debating and talking to the last VTuber I interviewed. I don't. I love talking to people on here. Because again,
Hmm.
like big or small, I love talking to creators because everyone has their own viewpoints of content creation, and it's so interesting hearing what they like or their origin, which is exactly why I
Hmm.
called the talk show "What's Your Genesis? What's Your Origin?"
Oh, okay. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. I like to hear how people started out. Speaking of which, I'm curious, how did you get? What is your origin into content creation? Whether that be starting as a VTuber or even before.
Um, there's two sides. There's two like life cycles of this that aren't connected to each other. So I don't know. Do you want to hear like the actual, like my very beginning stages way back a decade ago that I don't have any connection to now, or like how I just like the current life? That makes
Uh,
sense.
yeah. Well, let's hear them. I want to hear your origins.
So there's a TV show that was really popular a decade ago among hairy dudes who had questionable shower habits, and it was not a show that people expected them to be into. And I happen to also think the show was very fun and cute, and I liked watching it. And then I found out there was a large or a burgeoning community online, and I wanted to get involved with it. And at that time, people were writing like radio show type things, like audio drama stuff and animations and stuff. And so I decided to try voice acting in those things, and I managed to get into a few of them. And um, I was in enough, like, I was in a successful enough shows that we were actually invited to a couple conventions
Oh,
as guests.
nice.
It's the weirdest thing in the world to sign an autograph, like when you aren't anybody. So, yeah, and then it started falling. I mean, I suppose the community never, like, it didn't ever go away, but I left because I got tired of drama and people
That's
being
very fair.
ridiculous.
That's very fair.
So after that, I had like sworn off ever trying to do content creation and being and getting involved in the community online because I'm just like, there's too much drama. I can't deal with it. And then in 2020, um, I discovered VTubers. So at that point, I realized, oh shit, you don't even have to like have any skill. You can just talk,
Yep.
and you don't have to show your face. So you have anonymity.
Because some people
Um,
just like get it. Like, there's a reason why chill streamers are very popular. There's some people just there to
mhm,
vibe.
that's yep. And I the thing is I'm like, I can talk. I know how to have conversations on end with anybody about anything. I'm sure I could talk to a chat. But nothing happened for the longest time throughout 2021 because I just dragged my feet and I'm like, and plus money was a little tight then, and so I didn't know how to get into streaming, and I didn't really understand how the whole thing worked. But then I just decided that um when my husband said he wanted to also do VTubing, we're just like, all right, let's do this. And I found an artist who I really enjoyed his art, and he had opened up, or he had said that he was opening up commissions and he wanted to do VTuber model art. Um,
Ah.
Unfortunately, well, fortunately for me, I guess I'm his only child. He's never made another one of like another VTuber. But um, I wanted something unique, and his art style is unique. And it's Oak Proud, by the way, if you're wanting to look him up on Twitter. Um,
Oak Cloud.
and
Let me look it up real
Oak
quick.
Proud,
Oak Proud.
PRO, yeah. He does a lot of fan art of Hololive, especially Kiara and Callie, which is how I found him. And
Gotcha. Oh yeah.
uh,
Oh, this is some good art. Yeah.
yeah, he gets pit like every so often they'll put his art on their thumbnails. So it's not
That's
like
awesome.
he's a somebody, he's a not a somebody, he's a he's fairly well known in the Hololive fan community for their art.
Yeah.
And then so I wanted him because I thought, wow, maybe people will see my model if somebody, if it's somebody named him.
Yeah.
Um, and managed to get the same rigor as at the time. I didn't know who anybody was, but I managed to get the same rigor that did Liz, and also Spite. Apparently, I had no idea. Um, and but her name is Lady Cheese, and she doesn't promote her children. So
Oh.
we don't know who is out there. Like, it's usually I will find each other just by reading the credits and go, "Oh my God, you have the same rigor," or at least that's what I do. I go, "Oh my God, we're Briggs sisters," and that's what happened with
Yeah.
Liz. So I found Liz, and I'm like, "You are my Rig sister. I love you," and so we became friends.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm so
And
glad. Oh, that's great.
Radio was the very first person I glommed onto back when she was still a 30, not even 30 CCV like streamer in February of 2021. No, sorry, 2022. And so she's the very first person that I got like became friends with. And also Gigi, I got her to do my my logo and my overlays. And
Gigi and Radia both seem really fun to talk to.
yeah, you should reach out to them. They're great.
I
They'll talk to
definitely
you.
want to. I want to.
Radia will talk to you. Absolutely. She is the most down to earth person out there. And she is so sweet and so funny. She will talk she will talk like nonstop. And that's one of the great things about her. She can talk like me, but more in that sense.
Yeah.
Like if I'm in a stream with Radia and Liz, I don't talk very much because they're just
Dude, I can't even imagine. Yeah, if you're in a room with Liz and someone else who talks just as much, if not
Mhm.
more than her.
Yeah. Yeah, when we met when my husband and I met with Liz, she was hanging out with Kitty McPancakes, and he is also a
Gotcha.
streamer, and they're just also a VTuber, and he's been around a while. He actually knows a lot of people, which is shocking. Um,
Yeah.
and they just talked nonstop, told stories. I
Oh,
managed to
that's
get in a
awesome.
little bit, but I'm not a dominant person in conversations usually, so I'll stand back if people want to talk. Um,
Yeah.
Although if I have an opinion, I will definitely cut in and share it.
Oh, I'm like that. Yeah. Like I definitely am like that. I don't like if I feel like what's what I'm looking for? If like the conversation feels like it's going in a way that I can't jump in, like there's too many people talking, but I do hear something I have to comment on, I make my opinion known.
So when I was on the Wary 101 about a month ago, it was towards the end of the evening, and Taka was just in his like rant stage at that point in time. Like he wasn't even talking to the guests so much as he was just ranting about whatever he was ranting about, because that's what he
Yeah.
does. And Red Claw was with me, and Red Claw doesn't talk it like he's not as dominant as I am in a conversation. And Dr. Crafty was there, and Dr. Crafty was having technical issues. So, and he, the technical issues made it so that he was like not wanting to speak up as much.
Yeah.
So it was just basically Taka saying something and then me like forcing my way in with a comment. So like I can actually hold my own with somebody like him, but it's only like a one-on-one kind of situation. If there's like two people like that, I can't. I can't do it.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I've seen clips from Taka's talk show. It's like the things are like highlight videos. Like it definitely like he seems really good at being able to like talk to guests. He always
He's just
seems
really good at talking.
yeah.
That's the thing is sometimes he'll talk about stuff that you know about, and then sometimes he'll talk about just whatever. And
Yeah.
it's just like if you happen to my biggest fear was he was going to be talking about stuff that I had no idea about.
Yeah.
And fortunately he wasn't. He the conversation ran about because it was open bar, so I was only on there for like a half an hour. The
Gotcha.
conversation went on about like Last of Us, which I had just watched, and so I had lots of thoughts, and AI, which I have a lot of opinions on, and a few other things. But
Yeah, I had someone reach out to me because I was given fan art recently from the same person that made fan art for Nariko.
uh
Um, and a VTuber reached out to me, was like, "Hey, I think that fan art you just retweeted is AI generated fan art,"
mm,
and they kind of proved it to me, and they're
yeah.
like, "Yeah, that's AI generated." So I still have that art set to my Discord's, like my Discord communities thing, but I do, it's I do acknowledge the fact that it's AI generated. They're just claiming it's not.
Someone following me made a bunch of like um AI things of me, and I just sort of didn't acknowledge it. Because they
Yeah.
were not. The thing is my model is very distinct. So unless you train the um the network, the neural network on Oak Proud's art, you're not going to get anything that looks like me. So it's
Yeah.
kind of very obvious that what was going, like these are not. And they also were like AI art, and I'm like, all right, I'm all right. There we go. And I didn't like it, but I just also didn't say anything to them because I have an ambivalent attitude to AI. I see it as a tool, and not just art. Like I see AI in general as a tool, and like any tool, you can use it for good or evil. So, in order
Yeah.
to keep people from dominating it for evil, people need to use it for good.
Yeah.
Like, um, Aaron Hansen, Ego Raptor, has a really, really good like short essay that he put on Twitter about AI art and AI in general, and he makes a like really, really good um, points about the fact that yeah, crypto bros are now like the AI art bros, and yeah, they're doing kind of shitty things, but the problem is we're nobody who could actually use it for the purposes that that it's supposed to be used for are getting it. They're all like saying, no, I don't want to do this because you're taking away work from me. And the thing is, let me see if I can find it because it's a really, really good thread.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, for me,
yeah,
I think that if you're trying to sell AI art, I think it's messed up. Unless here's the thing: if it's your artwork, your art style, and then you just generate AI, and you teach AI to just use your art style, I feel like that could be cool, maybe. But as long as you're not using other people's AI
yeah.
or other people's artwork, um, like I think that's how some YouTubers, like the YouTuber who like makes jokes about
Hmm.
Stardew Valley and all that, like he just draws it and then has the AI animate an art style over
Hmm.
it from his drawing. I think that's so cool. I think that's perfect. But people who go and they like are like trying to make fan art for VTubers, or they claim all this artwork as theirs just so people try and get commission art that's not even made by them, that's messed up.
So that's the thing is art fraud has always happened. It's just there's a new way to do art fraud.
Yep.
How many times have people like said that they're going to sell models or art or whatever that they stole or they
Yeah,
traced?
and I
Like
hate it.
the thing
Like,
is this existed. This isn't new. There's always going to be people who take advantage of a system. But yeah, I found the thread,
all right, let's
and it
hear it.
starts off, look, you can just say it's important to me that a human person made this thing. All this hogwash about how AI art is ugly, you care about people and that people make art. It's important to you. You've just never had to face that because it's always been a given until now. You're not going to be able to tell the difference between a human made artwork and an AI artwork very soon, if it hasn't happened already. You have to face the fact that it's about your values, it's not about the quality. A quote tech bro is going to end up making something that you quite like, and in realizing it was made by a machine, you will be put off. You weren't duped. You care about that a human made it and how, and you all automatically assumed that was the case because it has always been. The concept of art has always had a human it has always had humanity associated with it. It is inherently human. So it is not a failing to be put off when something is revealed to have very little humanity behind it. Likewise, it's not a failing to not care either. When we view computer generated images, we are still receiving it with our human eyes. We will feel something. And if that alone is important enough to you, that is okay. And you are not bad because you can't tell the difference. This is a loud subject amongst artists because AI art is making us face things as artists that are uncomfortable. It is putting a megaphone on the quiet conundrums that have always been difficult feelings process. And a lot of them are about commercialization. You can downplay the quality or humanity of AI art forever, but some of the real problems here are the fear that people will lose their jobs to a machine that is mimicking their personal work, or have non-commercial work used to influence commercial work in a violating way. These concerns about AI are very human and are valid. I feel it is very important to have these discussions because they will shape how we interact with this level of computer technology in the future and possibly make policies to make.
Sorry. I was just gonna say, and this technology is going to be around. It's not going anywhere. Like AI,
it's not going anywhere,
and it's more like how it's used and who uses it. I think that's going to really be important going forward.
So going down, like it says, as artists, we can use tools like these to teach AI about our own art and to use it to do menial work that would normally take days. There's a world where we can ethically use these tools to make art better and make our jobs as working artists better and more fulfilling. But using and accepting these tools requires being clear about what it is and isn't acceptable use of them. And that comes with policy, personal, corporate, or otherwise. Policy that you have the ability to speak up to those in power about. Decrying AI systems radically as purely evil creation is really counterproductive, in my opinion. Those that see the benefit of having these systems as tools will become frustrated that they are being demonized for ethics that don't apply to them. And that kind of demonization has the potential to influence these people to be radically opposed to the abolition of it, unintentionally supporting the really, really horrible shit. We have to be okay with a certain level of usage. And he goes on, but
yeah. I definitely that's a really good take. It's a really good take, and it's very very good explanation about about his viewpoint that I think a lot of people should agree with. Because I don't think AI art is inherently evil. I really don't.
No.
Also, why the heck is my chat asking how many coins do you think you'd eat in one setting?
None. I'm not a monster. Unless you talk about chocolate coins, which I'd eat probably a handful of them before I get sick.
The only time I've ever eaten a coin was the time I was stupid as a kid. I shoved a penny up my nose and it went down my throat.
But yeah, the thing that people about AI art that is like it's going to take away our jobs kind of thing for artists is you shouldn't have, in general, the system itself is fucked up because you shouldn't have to commercialize something that should be done as a pursuit. You should already have a standard of living where you don't have to scrape together to make ends meet and freak out that you can't, that somebody wasn't able to pay their commission. Like, that shouldn't be an issue. You should be allowed to do art because you like doing art. And you should be allowed to live as a human being with the respect of having a basic, fundamental income, basic, living situation.
I think that goes for everyone. It's like in general, like I wish that jobs in general would let people live their lives. Like there's minimum wage should be a living wage.
Exactly. I'm starting to get into politics here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we probably should avoid most of that. But...
I blame Hassan.
But I mean, I do agree.
He has the same opinions that I do, so that's why.
I mean, I very much agree. Like, living wages should be a thing. Like, so many people argue. Like, here's the thing. I understand that people are like, oh, I work hard labor. All my expertise is the reason I make enough to live my life. It's like if you ask those same people, or you can I hate how people have asked richer people or people who are well off. They ask, do you think someone who works at McDonald's should be able to live in a house or they're like, no. And there's it's crazy to hear that. And then it's like, well, do you think that someone who makes you food, how do you go there to go get food? How do you do this, do that? It's like these people It seems so like
It's
I don't know.
it's corporate feudalism under a capitalist late capitalist system is what it is.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah. Society is inherently classist, and unfortunately, the balance of power has weighted way too heavily into the capital owners, and they have the tools of the media at their beck and call, so they're really good at manipulating people who don't have access to critical thinking skills because they don't have access to the right type of education, because guess what, the people in power have destroyed education, so people don't learn these things, so they can continue to keep them in a state of serfdom. So that's why you have people who would otherwise benefit from a system where the the uh, the workers own the means of production. When they would otherwise benefit from that, you have them fighting against their own best interest and licking the feet of their owners, so to speak. So
there's so many
that's
problems. Maybe we should
that's
avoid
where
going
I
into
come.
politics though. But no, it sucks. The world is messed up in so many different ways. It really is. It sucks. And
Hmm.
I wish we could. I wish it was easier to change the world, but that easier said than done. In all honesty,
Yeah, the thing is if no one tries, nothing will ever get done.
and that's the other sad truth, world. Because here's the thing:
So vote,
some people, yeah,
get
exactly.
involved with politics, get involved on the local level. But again, I'm sorry. Politics is just one of those things that I'm really passionate about, and I cannot, if I let the genie out of the bottle. And unfortunately, things like AI art have become politicized,
Also,
and I
good.
hate that.
Apparently, my chat is now saying "eat the rich."
I agree. Eat the rich, and I would be considered the rich in our like modern. So eat me. I'm fine. Like I could use to not have as much like wealth if it means that other people are able to be brought up.
I personally, like how I really want. The reason I really would like to get wealthy, especially for one, so I can actually like move out of my family's house. That's a big one. Right
Mm-hmm.
now, right now, the place I live in, it's like houses are freaking selling for like $1 million, and we are
Yep.
making 16 an hour. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
do people not see the problem with that?
Yeah, no. My husband and I would not have been able to afford the house that we bought if it weren't for the fact that we have generational wealth.
Yeah.
And I mean, we make enough money to be able to afford the mortgage payments. It was that initial down payment that we just could not get. And so because of family, inheritance and that kind of thing, we were actually able to afford enough for a down payment. Um, and we didn't work hard for that. That was given to us. We were privileged in where we were born and how we were born. And I don't think that's fair. Now, I don't live in a mansion. I live in like 1,100 square foot block house built in 1972 with tons of things that need to be fixed. But I have my own house. I have
Yeah.
property. I have capital now. Well, once we pay off the mortgage in like 30 years. And
Yeah.
that's not something that people my age are able to achieve in general. And, and I'm in my late 30s. And that's fucked up.
I'm
Like,
in my
that's
early
really,
20s, so it's like,
like, it's really screwed. Like, you're going to have at least a little better option, I think, if
the housing
the
market
economic,
crashes.
if the economic system is able to crank back over to where I'm thinking it will, but at the same time, it might not be for a generation.
Oh God! Everyone's talking about a
So,
guillotine now. Chat, excuse me, calm down.
yeah,
We're not here to start the time. Not a French
Jamie,
Revolution.
Jamie,
And
what the
David's
fuck?
here. Quick, stop her before she climbs up your water spout. Oh, because. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah. No, and seeing and water spout is a word for a tornado that forms over the ocean. So now you have a spider NATO. So watch out.
Spider-Nado. Oh God, that's a sequel to that. That's like a spin-off to Sharknado that I do
Yeah,
not want to be a part of.
creepier because it's
Uh,
spiders.
it remind me to go back. I want to tell you a story about a spider. But I also want to mention another reason I definitely want to I would like to get income, is so I can force my family to retire. Because my dad is one of the hardest workers that I know.
Oh yeah.
Literally,
Mm-hmm.
he does labor. He runs a business with like one
Mm-hmm.
employee, and he's a
Wow.
concrete business. So he does
Mm-hmm.
foundation work,
Oh wow.
and he just does it with one employee. But it's like he will break a rib and be like, "Well, I can't take any time off. I got to keep working." He'll break a leg
Yeah.
and still has to lift these 200-pound panels over his head by himself because that's all like that's how he's lived his life. He's a hard ass
Yeah.
worker,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd like to make him to force him to stop.
Well, I think known a lot of old people in my life, and if an old person wants to do something, they better, or you better have some way to get them into a home, because otherwise you're going to do it. As long as they are not senile, they're going to do what they want to do. And if you try to make them not do that, they're going to not let you see the end of it. My grandfather pretty much, now my grandfather was a white collar worker, landowner kind of thing, like, oh, did contracting work with the military, a whole bunch of stuff. But he was white collar, but he still worked until pretty much the day he died. And that was like
Yeah.
in his early 80s. So he just worked and worked and worked, and going to business meetings and all that kind of thing. And the job that I have, I don't want to give too many details,
Yeah.
but I work with contractors. And there's one contractor who is in his 80s, still going out doing the work, hard work, manual labor work. And in fact, like, he doesn't submit anything through the internet. Everything he submits is on paper. And we have everybody else who has to submit stuff submits it online. And he's the
Oh
only one that drops
wow.
things off on paper. Like, they fax us the paperwork, and we have to enter it manually. A good luck getting that guy to quit. He will die on his equipment.
Oh
So
God.
yeah, it's kind of like, you can try to get your dad to retire, but
Well,
good
the thing
luck,
is, he
because
wants to. That's another thing.
he
He
wants
wants
to.
to,
Okay,
but he
I
he can't really afford to change
I
jobs
see, I
right
see,
now because
I
the
see.
amount he makes for our house and all that is like
Mm-hmm.
he needs to stick with a job that pays well. It's not like he can just do a career change at this point in his life.
Yeah, and the manual labor job is not good for aging bodies. I
No, it's
understand.
not. And I mean, he also does scuba diving too. He goes under and cleans
Oh,
people's
that's cool.
boats. Yeah, he cleans people's
Um,
boats under the water and also finds lost items like phones and keys.
yeah. Well, if he could retire, then he could do that as a living.
He
Like, it wouldn't make
could.
enough to like pay for things, but at the same time, like, I think a person needs to have purpose, and that's what makes these old MFers live forever, is because they've got purpose. They
Yeah.
doing something, and as long as you have a reason to get up in the morning and go do it, you're gonna keep doing it until your body literally breaks and you cannot do it anymore. But you're not gonna like die because you are bored and lonely. Because so many
Yeah.
people retire. So the retirement age is set in the early 60s in our country, because back then people didn't really live until past their 70s. So you're basically like on pension or social security for like not even a decade, and you're not putting any kind of stress on the system. Nowadays people are living into their 80s and 90s, and so they're just, if they retire too early, they get so depressed. My mom has like the worst, like, she's lonely, she's not good at making friends, so she has no community, and she is constantly like fighting that sense of just ennui of like, what's the point?
Yeah.
And she
Yeah.
doesn't have a reason to get up.
I mean, I even had that when
Her reason to take care of her dog, like, that's it. If once that dog dies, it's like, oh boy.
Yeah.
So, if your dad is able to retire, at least encourage him to go do something meaningful with his life.
Yeah.
Like the scuba diving thing, that's really cool. And you can't make enough doing that to like earn a regular living, but like on Social Security, that can supplement it really well. So
Yeah.
highly encouraged.
Also, I mean, I want to go back because it's funny that Damien mentions a Black Widow. Going back, because I said I want to tell a story about a spider, and it has to do with my dad as well, so pretty funny there. And then it has to do with the Black Widow. There was a day at one of my dad's job sites. We were just trying to help out, or we went to go visit him, and he said something like offhandedly as we were heading down there over the phone. He's like, "Oh yeah, I found a couple dead Black Widows over here too."
Hmm.
Mother trucker. When this, like, I don't know if it's as soon as we get there, but like he walks up to me and he has a freaking spider in his hand, and I can see the diamond.
It's actually an hourglass.
An hourglass, I mean, yeah, hourglass.
Mm-hmm.
I see the hourglass, and I immediately start freaking out. And then, so I freak out because he shoves it right in my face, right up to my face.
Uh-huh.
And so I nearly run. I'm right next to the freaking not really a freeway, but a very, very busy street. I run back, nearly run into traffic, nearly get hit by a car. But then he grabs me to pull me back away from traffic. So he saves me, only to shove this spider back into my face while holding my arm.
Is it alive?
Dead. It was a dead Black Widow, but still freaking the hell out because one, it's a Black Widow, and it was freaky.
You know what kind of spider I am, right?
A Black Widow.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I know.
But if a Black Widow decided that it wanted to make a nest in my garage or on my porch, I would kill it because I don't want that bad juju near me. The thing is, I get away with that by saying Black Widows are territorial, so I don't want them in my territory.
Yeah, that's very fair. Also, nowadays, though Black Widows aren't even the deadliest spider in the world, they're far from it. Because Black Widow venom is like readily accessible in nearly every major hospital in the country.
They're also not deadly.
They're
thing
not.
is their venom is highly over hyped. It's very painful. It can cause if you are, I think it's an allergic reaction to it. Like you can die from it if you I happen to be, I think, allergic to it. But most people, it's just a really painful bite, and it takes a very long time to heal. Brown recluses are
much worse.
A little worse, but the necrosis that happens with those, most people don't die from it anyway. Like those spiders are not going to kill you.
Spiders are
the funnel web.
Snakes are more venomous by a lot.
The funnel web in Australia will kill you.
Yes.
So
the funnel web in Australia is the most. I'm pretty sure it's the most poisonous spider in the world.
Venomous. Here's
venomous.
The thing. Venom is when the thing injects you.
Yes, it
poison
bites.
is
Poisonous
when
you touch it.
You ingest it. So yeah, you bite it, it's poison. It bites you, it's venom.
Chad is saying fuck Australia.
Oh, Australia, they've got the blue bottles, they've got the blue ring octopus, they have the, I don't remember the name
They have
of
the bird eater tarantula, they have the the spider, I don't know its name, but it's like the spider that's the size of a dinner plate.
Oh, the huntsman. We have those in Florida.
What?
Yeah, they're invasive, of course. I think there was actually one in our garage. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, they're big. They're not venomous or anything. Like, I mean, I guess they are, because all spiders are venomous to a degree, but like they're just big and scary looking.
Oh my God, Damien just said you can bite me anytime you want, Spinna.
Why would I want to do that? I get a virus.
You know, she's right, Damie. She's right. A little leech. I'm joking.
They're so fast for their size. Great. Now I have another thing to be scared of.
They are really fast, from what I've seen.
Apparently, there's a chance. Huntsmen will apparently like hang out in people's cars and like in Australia. I've never heard of this happening in the US, but like in Australia, I don't know. I watched a video one time and they said like you have to be careful when flipping down your sun visor because if you flip down your sun visor while you're driving and one falls in your lap, well, there you go.
Oh my
So that's something to worry
god,
about.
that is like nightmare fuel. Like, here's the thing: I don't have arachnophobia, and like I like little, you know those like little jumping spiders, like that are like white
Yeah,
and black. I love them, and they're so
yeah,
cute
jumping
to me.
spiders.
Jumping spiders are
Uh-huh.
so cute. We used to call them wolf spiders, but I don't think that's actually their real
No,
name.
there are wolf spiders though, and they're not jumping spiders. They're actually a little bigger and they will walk around on the ground and just like hunt things, but they're not
My
they don't go after people or anything. They don't want you to
apparently.
bother them
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. My one of my old friends like that I had in elementary middle school, apparently had like frequent infestations in his garage of wolf spiders, and the whole time I never realized
Wow.
that wolf spiders he meant like the big ones. And like he told me they were big, but he kept calling them wolf spiders, so I was like, they're probably just really big jumping spiders.
No, no, wolf spiders are they're shocking to see walk across your floor, but they're harmless. And now in Florida, we've got things like banana spiders, which are the size of your palm, and they're big yellow guys, and they make giant webs. And if you like to go like kayaking on a creek or something, they will their their webs will go right across the creek because they're catching large bugs, and they're very
Oh.
low hanging. And if you don't duck, you will get a face full of spider web and
Bah!
possibly banana spider on you. Um, let's see. I don't know.
Banana
Like
spiders
I'm
scare me. Wait, Damie, why are banana spiders scary?
look up banana spider.
Oh
Just do it.
God.
Just Google banana spider.
Okay, let me look it up. Don't worry, chat. I'm not gonna show you guys because I know someone in chat might have arachnophobia. Banana spider. Let's see. Oh God. Wait a sec. Is it this like that yellow and blue one?
This should be yellow and black or blue or whatever. It's large guys,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
large
yeah,
boys.
yeah.
They're not little.
Ee.
They're not little
Oh,
guys.
oh God. I've never seen one of these before, but I don't like it.
Yeah, yeah. They're
Ah! Okay, I don't know arachnophobia, but the fact it's the size of your hand, and
yep.
they look like the kind of spider that would give somebody arachnophobia. That like they like
Yeah.
uh
Yeah, no, see, I'm similar to you. Like if I've got a spider, like a little dude in the corner with a little web, I'm
I'm
like,
fine with
hey,
it. Like
you
you're
stay up
okay.
there, you're eating bugs, you're cool. If one happens to fall in my hair, I'm not happy about it. And if it's a big old boy, I will avoid it. I don't want to walk into spider web. It just freaks me out.
Oh my God.
Um, but I'm like,
Uh
I don't have arachnophobia. So like if I see a spider, I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, burn that house down. I just be like, let's catch the friend and put it outside where he'll have more chance of eating bugs. Although we just had an exterminator go through the house. So I'm pretty sure if there's anything in here, it will die eventually. So I feel kind of
yeah.
bad for it.
Have you ever had a pet spider?
No, no, no,
Oh really? Like I'm a bit
no,
surprised as being a spider VTuber.
no. The spider VTuber thing was just sort of I didn't see spiders when I was coming up with my character.
Oh, so you just wanted to be unique, kinda?
Yeah, yeah. And then it turns out there were lots of spiders. I didn't realize it. But there aren't very many or any Black Widows. I think I've only ever seen one other Black Widow. Because Black Widow, it seems too obvious. Everybody wants to be unique, right? Everybody wants to be like
Yeah.
original. And so nobody wants to do the thing that seems most obvious. The thing is that leaves the most obvious thing available.
Yeah.
So,
And so you're the
and
Black Widow VTuber.
and nobody's done anything based on like Muffet or Little Miss Muffet. So
Ah,
I kind of jumped on that. I'm like, it's tea time and spider. It's very obvious. But
gotcha.
no one does it. Or did it. I do it. Is my thing.
Oh my God. Wait, well,
And
hold
now if
on.
anybody else does it, I just tell them I just, go like, look at this person copying me.
Damn, Damie, you really are thirsty for Spinna, aren't you? He says, I have arachnophobia, and I don't care if Spinna crawls on me. Oh my God, Damie.
Amy, eventually you're gonna be like borderline harassment here, sir. I'm just kidding. I love you.
Oh my
You can
god.
harass me anytime, sir.
And Lily in my chat says, Damien needs some water for that thirst. That man is a virus that desperately needs water.
Oh, now he's crying.
Oh my god. Oh man. Honestly, like I'd be interested in seeing like a funnel web spider VTuber. It'd be kind of freaky, but
If
like
they're not Australian, I'd be very disappointed.
they have yeah, I'd be severely disappointed. We need an Australian funnel web spider VTuber. I don't care if they're a male or female. I want it. Or
So
a huntsman spider.
oh god, no.
Oh, that's something freaky.
There are some pretty monstrous spider VTubers. That's the other thing is, when I was coming up with the design,
You didn't go for monster. You went for, you know.
yeah. So I went for literal spider that takes over the body of a human.
Okay.
So actually, what ended up happening was, I'm like, ooh, do I want to have extra legs or extra eyes or whatever? And then I'm like, well, so I don't want to make my artist have to do that because he's never done that kind of thing before. So I was like, I don't really want to make him do something that he might not be comfortable doing. So I want to do something that he's going to be able to pull off. And so I'm like, well, let's just go with a human with a spider theme. And the only thing that's going to be like not human will be the eyes. And I really like the ideas of the black sclera and red iris. Like that was the one thing that I said this has to happen. And the color scheme had to be like the black and red. But
Yeah.
everything else, I'm like, Victorian. That's it. Victorian, sexy lady with these details. And it turns out everybody else who's a spider VTuber has those additional spidery like aspects. They either have like extra little legs, or they have an entire lower half of their body is a spider.
Yeah,
or like spider,
like
you know,
an
like
what are they called?
Arachnia or something.
Arachnia.
Yeah, Rachnera, from Monster Musume. Or they have extra eyes, or any number of things that are just like, yeah, that's it. They're like just any number of spidery things, and because I didn't do that, I'm like, well, look at me, I'm super unique in this sense, and but I'm like, but nobody's gonna know I'm a spider because like I look like a vampire.
Yeah.
I look like a vampire. So like, how are you a spider? You don't look like a spider. Well, I am a spider. I am a full spider. I'm the only one who's actually a spider, other than, well, now Arachnid is he is a spider and he's very cute. But my actual lore is that I am a spider that has taken over the body because little Miss Muffet ran away from me and I didn't want to scare her again.
She's piloting that body like a meat robot. You're a mecha, I guess, technically.
Yeah, I'm a meat mech.
A meat mech. Just like Attack on Titan,
like Attack
but for
on
spiders.
Titan.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
it's exactly like Attack on Titan because I'm like, that in the nape of the neck. That's where the spider's attached.
Man, there's some people in my chat who are mega mecha fans that probably are upset that we even call Attack on Titan a mecha show.
No, they're wrong though. So they're wrong, and I'm not even going to go into it because Hassan has done an excellent job of laying it out. When he was on Trash Taste, he gave the exact argument that I would give, and I think he does a much better job than I do. Of course, if you don't like Hassan, then you're not going to listen. But
well, here's the thing. I didn't know Hassan really existed until the chess boxing event because I'm pretty sure he was involved in there somehow, or at least afterwards. No. At least afterwards, Ludwig hung out with them a bit, and I was like,
well, he's friends with Ludwig.
Yeah,
he used to be on the Young Turks and then became a streamer. And he's a political streamer.
He seems pretty interesting. He seems like he's a cool guy. I also think
you might like him. He has really good political commentary. He also doesn't give a shit if people clip him and put those clips on YouTube. Some streamers are really anal about other people clipping their stuff and profiting off it. So there's it's called the Hasanabe Industrial Complex is what it's called. And there's hundreds, if not thousands, of YouTube accounts out there that just clip him and put them on, and a lot of them are monetized. There's an entire subgenre of Hassan clippers who only post his opinions and takes on One Piece. because he is watching One Piece currently. He's in the middle of, he just got through Marineford just before the time skip. And so every episode, or not every episode, every day when he's starting his stream, he'll start, talk about his life, and he'll give a One Piece update about like his opinions and takes. And honestly, that's the whole reason I started really watching him like every day, is because I'm like, I want to know what he has to say about One Piece.
Yeah. Dude, I need to do more streams where I just chat with my chat. For me, I love doing it and I want to encourage it more, but I always have the big fear when I do a just chatting stream that I won't have enough people to chat with.
I get around that by just talking. I don't need anybody to talk to. That's how I knew I was like, I should do the streaming thing, because I can have an entire conversation with myself by myself with no one else around.
Yeah.
I don't need another human being there. I will literally monologue to myself.
That's probably why I'm better at collabs than I ever will be by myself, because I'm someone who, I do talk to myself, but I'm not, I don't know, I feel like I am not as skilled as other people in that regard. I'm much more skilled at playing off other people.
It takes practice and experience. Like, if you just practice talking to people without them being there, you'll just get used to it. I don't know. It's something that I've always done ever since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
And I don't always do it quietly. Sometimes, like when I'm in the shower, if I've got a thought that I'm working out, like if I have something I need to say to somebody and I don't have the chance to ever say it, but I really, really want to say it, I will work out my conversation with them, and I will argue with them.
Yeah. I mean, a big part of it,
whatever argument they have, and I will counter it. And that's how I work on my thought processes and my debate skills, is that I practice against no one.
Yeah. For me, I think a big part of it also is the fact that I was since a very young age, I've been diagnosed with autism. So I think that has a big part of, like, I already struggle to communicate with people. So I think I very much struggle to be, like, I think that I'm very good at connecting with people. I'm very good at entertaining, but I feel like I do better when I have someone to talk to. Which is why when it comes to streaming, just chatting streams, I heavily rely on the chat, more so than probably most streamers do, I guess.
See, yeah, no, I have the other ND thing, and that's what makes it so that I am a chatterbox. I have ADHD, so I will not shut up.
I have both.
Well, so if you watch streamers, the best streamers are almost always hyperactive ADHD.
Yeah.
I don't know about the attention heavy type, but the ones who are either both or hyperactive, and I happen to be both. Like I'm actually more hyperactive than attention deficit, but I am both. I have a hard time focusing for a long period of time on anything that I think is boring, but I'm also like full of energy, and my brain will not stop moving. And so it's just kind of all over the place. On top of that, I diagnosed gifted as a child, which is not a gift, it's a curse. And so you being a twice exceptional child, which you are apparently, because you've got the autism and the ADHD, and that's what 2E is, twice exceptional. You have the multiple things going on, and your brain is just definitely not on the same wavelength as other people.
Yeah.
And I think when you have that, mostly ADHD, I don't think I have autism. I'm pretty sure. Like, I'm on one of those cases where I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to self-diagnose. And I also feel like I don't. Yeah. I feel like I don't, but sometimes I'm like, am I an alien? I don't know.
That's me. Even I still ask myself if I'm an alien.
But I figure it's not, I don't have any kind of problems that having any kind of diagnosis along those lines would help, because there's not really, like, it wouldn't help me to know whether or not I have autism. I don't think I do, but it wouldn't really help me.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a cure for it. There's no treatment.
I mean, communication in general is a skill. It's not a talent that you're born with. It's something you learn over time.
Watching, like, observing people, and people with autism can be very good at observing others. And a lot of people with autism make very good actors because they're excellent at observing and replicating.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like, I think Anthony Hopkins, I believe, has autism. and he's like a fucking Oscar-winning actor. So like there, it's just a different brain. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you're really, really good at just like chatterboxing, just like blah, 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 then you make a great streamer. Whether or not you're good at talking to someone or to yourself. So
That's true.
I have the voice of an 8-legged angel. So
I don't know. And he also said, Spinna, what's your ideal AI and why is it me? Also, didn't you say, Spinna, that you had a
you're
husband?
not Chat GPT. What are you talking about, Damie?
Oh my god. Also, didn't you say you had a husband, by the way, Spinna?
Yeah. His name is Assyrian. He is a 4-armed Lamia king.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. He's kind of awesome, and he needs more love. No more people need to know about him. It's spelled YSSERION.
YSSEON?
No, ERION.
ERION. Yserion. The 4-armed King Lamia. I'm going to follow him right now.
Good, because at 600 followers on Twitter, he will do Tusken Raider ASMR.
I need that. You need to DM me if that ever happens. I need that. I need to hear that.
We have the 3DO mic, and that's something we've joked about for like well over a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So at 600 followers is going to do Tusken Raider ASMR, and so if you need this cursed entertainment in your life, follow him.
Oh my god, bro, that's awesome. Also, he's tweeting about needing to play Elden Ring. I'm gonna like that because that just reminded me I need to finish Elden Ring one of these days.
He's so funny. He started playing it on stream and then liked it so much he's been playing it off stream, and it's like he's like, I should have saved it for stream, but
I was right in that regard as well at some points, and then I stopped myself. Well, actually, I was like that, which is why I created a second character, and then I made the mistake of having more. I had more fun on my second character, and so I was like, I'm gonna start streaming my second character instead. So I started streaming from there.
It's his Twitter chat. Go follow him. Give him love.
Yes.
He is far too.
Oh, let me make sure.
Entertaining.
Let me approve it. If it. Oh, did it not go through? Here, I'll post it in case.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't know if it went through on my end. I think it automatically got blocked. So I'll post it real quick. There you go, chat. That is a link for you guys, so you can go follow her husband, who seemed like. I definitely want it. I'm glad you told me him. I'm definitely going to keep an eye out for him. Oh god, I'm closing that tab of the banana spider.
I'm also trying to convince him to add a chat redeem, or sorry, not a chat redeem. Chat redeem on Twitch for random cursed instrument. Channel point redeem, not chat redeem. Channel point redeem for a random cursed instrument. He's got a didgeridoo and a hand pan and an arho and a duduk.
Why does he have all these?
Because he likes collecting random instruments. He also knows how to do throat singing, like Tibetan throat singing.
Oh my god.
Yeah. He's a very interesting person.
I have a friend who jokingly does Tibetan, but I don't think he does like real. He does like oi, oi, like he does that, but I don't think it's like actual. I think it's mainly a joke.
Yeah, no, he actually has practiced, and he practiced for a very long time to get there. And I'm jealous because I can't do it. And I love throat singing. I think it sounds so cool. Like I can barely beatbox.
I'm jealous of people who can whistle.
Like that?
Your mic didn't even pick it up. I think
pick up?
No, it picked up for a split second. I think
it's too quiet. It's too loud, and my sound gate is too
sensitive.
Not set up for it. Yeah, it's not set up for it.
Is he single? How does he feel about AI Lamia relations?
You can join his growing harem of boyfriends. Absolutely.
Does he have a harem growing right now?
Yeah. Vespa and his Vespasian, and his Nai Noni, and who was on your channel.
Nai was awesome.
Yeah. And let's see who else is in his boyfriend harem. Some of his friends are actually like they're in the VTuber streaming space, but they're not. They're from his friends from before.
Gotcha.
So Core Fox Gaming is his best friend, and Chesswire is, I don't know if, well, he plays 14. He raids 14 with them every week. I don't know if I would count Chess as one of his boyfriends, but Vess is definitely one of his boyfriends. And I say that because Vess was like, play Apex with me last week or this past weekend. And he's like, all right, what are we doing today? And I'm like, I don't know. We're going home. It's like, all right, good. Because I'm going to play Apex. Vess wanted to. And I'm like, all right, go play with your boyfriend. I'm not going to stop you. I have wives. He can have boyfriends. We're fine.
That's hey, that's good relationship right there. That's a good relationship. Knowing like you letting each other have fun with your other significant others, I guess.
Yeah, purely platonic, non-romantic, non-sexual.
Yeah,
wives and
no.
boyfriends. Yeah.
Definitely. I definitely. Oh man. Oh man. Oh yeah,
But
no. That's cool. I have somebody else to keep an eye on. I think I might have seen his profile picture somewhere before, but I don't know where.
when he was on Vexoria's Smash or Pass or whatever stream she was doing, like, I don't know, I guess she was rating people's accounts on how bangable they were. She was like, oh my god, when he showed up. So
So
yeah.
I still love that clip of you and you Radia and Gigi freaking out over I can't remember his
Muzo?
yeah over
Yeah.
his model and just like
Mm-hmm.
all barking at him.
I mean, granted, I did play it up for the stream, but yes.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. I mean, that's something you definitely do as a consecrated, play things up.
Yeah. You have to have big reactions, otherwise, why are you even doing this?
Well, this is why.
I don't think people who just sit there and play games and don't say anything and don't have any reaction to anything they're doing to be very entertaining, personally.
Well, this is why I think for me, it's best for me to turn games like Jump King and Getting Over It into just chatting streams because the fact I don't rage. I don't rage at video games.
Oh, I hate jumping or not jumping, Getting Over It. I will not play that game again.
Really? You didn't have a good time?
I had, well, part of it was I was very, very new to gaming, so I didn't really have the hand coordination for it. And yeah, no, I have trouble with things. I'm not a gamer. I didn't grow up playing games.
Yeah, okay,
So
gotcha.
I don't have the hand skills. I'm still learning. Like, I like Minecraft so much because it's very basic. Like, other than WASD, and E, and then Shift Control, which I don't have on. That's crouch. I put crouch on my mouse, and then space bar for jump. Like, other than like those things, there's nothing. Like, yeah, okay, you have to know F3 if you're playing on Java to pull up your status and all that stuff, like your coordinates and things. But like, that's not. You could look down for that. Like, the fewer the buttons, the happier I am. But also, Getting Over It had the most obnoxious mouse movement. Like, I can't. When I rage at a game, I will scream.
I've only okay. For me, what makes me rage isn't like because here, I guess when a game is meant to be rage-inducing, it becomes like less rage-inducing to me. Like Jump King, it's annoying, yes, to fall. Honestly, that game, I don't remember how I didn't rage at Jump King. With Getting Over It, I especially didn't rage because I just spent this entire 5.5 hours chatting with my friends while I streamed it. So it became a just chatting stream with friends while I literally was playing Getting Over It and making, like, literally, I never progressed past the orange. So I literally kept doing the same part over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, no, same. I think that's where I got stuck, and there's like this ledge, and I just could not get on the ledge. But yeah. I don't know how to explain it because it's all ledges. But yeah, no, there's just that game brings me stress. I don't like games that I have to try doing things over and over again with. Like, I would never play a Souls-like game ever because I don't like the idea of having to try something 1,000 times over and over again while I learn how the mechanics work. I don't have the patience for it. I don't have the attention span. I get exhausted when I do something the first time, and if I have to do things 1,000 times over and over and over again in order to just get it, and if I fuck up, that's it. I don't have any progress, and I have to start over from the beginning. I do not like that. I do not care for it. I do not find it to be relaxing. I think video games should be relaxing. Like that's the point of a game, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're playing it for a stream and you're making content, in which case that's you're doing it as a job or you're doing it as like entertainment. Like that's different. But for just something to become, to relax with, I have other ways of relaxing, like watching YouTube, like the things that don't require me to have any kind of skill or any kind of effort. I am very lazy. I think putting forth any kind of effort is exhausting. So the more effort I have to do, the worse it is. If I like games that are no effort, no skill, which is weird that I like puzzle games like Portal or Superliminal.
Well, for me, like, I really do enjoy, like, okay, that's not enjoy. Like, I don't rage at these games that make you repeat things over and over again. What annoys me, the only time I've ever raged is when it becomes an issue of, I'm doing the same thing over and over again, but it should be working. And it's like, it's a matter of like, either the game is breaking or not working, or it's like a game crashes and I didn't save, and so I'd have to repeat all that progress. Or freaking editing a YouTube video and then you lose 3 hours of editing because you didn't save the whole time by accident. Not fun. Or like playing like fighting a boss in a game that's not meant to be hard, but the boss just keeps killing you over and over and over again, and you don't know, and it's not meant to be a game like Dark Souls where you're supposed to beat your head up against a wall, and it's just like, I want to beat this already. It's like, I guess also, if I've been doing something long enough, eventually I'm like, I just want to be done. Let me be done.
I had moments like that during Stray.
Oh, really?
But I was also playing Stray on a mouse and keyboard, so I had the extra level of difficulty for the controls. Towards the end of the lower level, before you get to the upper level when you have to deal with the sentinels, but when you're about to deal with the go through the sewers for the first time, there's like this part where you have to slide, and I just could not get it, and I hated those Zerk thingies, whatever they're called. I think
they're called Zerks. I think that's right.
Yeah, so just the whole process of getting through part of that game, I was just rage-inducing to me because one part I just could not figure out how to do it, but I kept persisting. The other part that was annoying with it was the map in the lower level. I was very lost constantly. I didn't know where anything was, and I just could not keep the locations of anything like in my head. Not like the upper level. The upper level was a lot easier to navigate, but the lower level, I just could not figure out where anything was.
Like where all the robots were down the lower level, like
the slum, basically.
Yeah, I guess I could see that because that section did take me a lot longer than the upper. Like once I got to the upper levels, the game was a lot smoother. I do think that lower level is a bit too cramped and messy, so you can kind of get lost. I mean, maybe in an enclosed space, but you can easily get lost.
You run past the door you're supposed to get into over and over again, or you just never go down that alley. Like you run past the alley where the door is located, and like, it took me a couple streams just to get through that first part, and those were like several hour-long streams. So I'm not the best gamer, but I beat the game. I'm very proud of myself. Like I actually legit beat the game. And once you get the gun,
that's awesome.
I felt so happy. I'm like, finally.
I hated losing the gun. Dude, the thing is, you only get the gun for such a short section of the game. Like you get it for like maybe an hour. That's it. You get your fun, and then the game takes it away. Because I beat this, like the moment they gave me the gun, I was flying through the game, and then they took away my gun.
The other part that was really hard was when you're going through I guess it's a hospital or something. Like there's a courtyard, and you have to go through several different parts. Or it might have been a prison.
The robots, like the prison. Yeah, the prison.
Yeah, and the sentinels were like flying around, and you had to like
trap them
maneuver
in the room
around, and I hated that.
Yeah,
I
that was
absolutely
an
hated
annoying
it.
section. I will say I
It
didn't really like that section too
it
much.
took several attempts for me to get through it.
Uh,
I did not do good because I'm not good at like maneuvering, like especially because it was the the keyboard. Like I suppose if it had been a controller, it would have been a lot easier for me to move around. But I didn't have one at the time, and on top of that, I grip controllers really hard, so my hands would probably end up cramping faster. Um,
ah,
but I'm not bad with the controller. I'm just not great with the controller
that's fair.
either.
Hey, everyone has their skill sets. Everyone has what they're good at and they're bad at, you know? And again, it's still stuff you can learn and improve on over time.
Yeah, well, so there is a point when you get older that picking up new skills becomes difficult. You can still do it. It just takes a lot longer to learn.
Yeah.
Um, and as I've already established, I have very low patience, and I hate trying things over and over again. So part of that's the gifted child. So things came easily to me as a kid. I didn't have to like practice or learn anything, so I never learned grit uh
Yeah.
very easily. Like that had to come later on in life, and so I'm still not very good at it. I'm not very good at having persistence. So if it's not something that immediately gets me, like I immediately understand, and if it's not something I
So,
enjoy immediate like immensely, like I loved Superliminal and I love Portal, so I was willing to grind out parts that I just couldn't figure out.
I should really play Superliminal at some point. I've been avoiding watching any gameplay on it because it looked interesting enough that I was like, I might stream it at some point, but I feel like
It's really cool.
I just feel like I don't know if I'd be entertaining. I feel like I'd just be like, "Oh, this is cool. This is cool."
It's really cool because like when you get to certain points, it's fun to just play around. Like you're like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, so I'm just gonna play with perspective, and that's just the whole point of the game. I think it's just a neat game. You can play it in a day if you're um smart enough. Connor played
Yeah.
it in like 4 hours. Um, Bastard. It took me like uh 4 streams to get through it. But I was also dealing with a chat that I wanted to talk to, and I was also not very good at solving any of the puzzles. So
Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, have you? Oh, I have a game suggestion if you've never played it. Have you ever heard of the game Before Your Eyes?
no, I haven't.
So it's a very interesting game. So it uses your webcam, or you can
No,
just
I
play.
don't have one.
Well, here's the alternative. Or you can play by the what's the word? Like the word that means like you'll follow something even if if you lost. Like you'll just like oh, what's the word? It's like you've promised to do something and you will do it even if you know you lost, even if you want to continue. What's the word I'm looking for? God, what is it?
Embark on an emotional first-person narrative adventure where you control the story and affect its outcomes with your real-life blinks. With this
Yes.
innovative technique, you will fully immerse yourself in a world of memories, both joyous and heartbreaking, as your whole life flashes before your eyes. And it sounds like something I would play. I don't have a webcam though, so.
Yeah, the thing is, they have an alternative. What I'm like, so basically, you just have to play the I will do it when I actually have lost. Because the whole point of the game is you're trying not to blink for a lot of the sections. Some sections you do want to blink,
Oh,
but the thing
no,
is you don't want to blink because if you blink, you miss part of the story.
I
So,
can't.
but there's
Oh no.
but there's a button mode, so you can just hit like the space bar if you do blink, as like if you don't have a webcam.
No, I won't. I won't. That's being too conscious and aware of your blinking. I don't know if I could do that. Like the puzzle aspect of it sounds interesting, but being aware, that's like being aware of your breathing.
Well, and the thing is,
It's
you would
existentially weird.
Well, I played all in one setting, and I'm very glad I did. The game is gorgeous. It tells such a good story, and it will make you cry. The ending it made me bawl my eyes out.
Hmm. I would want to play it the way it's supposed to be played. So I won't do it until I have a webcam, which I
Sounds
don't know when
good.
that'll be.
That sounds
But I
good.
also just being conscious and aware of my blinking would. I don't. I
It's cool though. It's
oh,
like I
it's
trust me.
freaky.
It's a cool experience. I highly recommend it.
Hmm.
Because it's one of those situations where it's like the thing is you can blink. There's plenty of times you can blink in the game, but a lot of it, the reason you don't want to blink, at least why I like some people don't care, but for me, reason I don't want to blink is because there are sections of the game where if you blink, literally your life passed before your eyes. You're now on to the next section. Like your mom could be telling you literally about a story about her childhood, but if you blink, you've now moved on past that. You can't hear the rest of her story.
Hmm.
And so everyone's experience is a little bit different because you might end up missing part of the story.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. I highly recommend it. There's literally that's all the gameplay mechanic is blinking. That's it. But it's super, super enjoyable. That's one of those games I highly recommend to people if they haven't ever heard of it. You can always just watch a YouTuber play it, but like I think it's the best experienced on your own because it's like if you're the one playing it, you get really immersed in it.
Oh, well, then I'll never play it because I don't play games for myself. I don't. I don't want to be on my computer if I can help it. The exception for that is Pokemon because I do that in the living room. I can sit on the couch and be comfortable, and I don't have to.
What's your favorite
like,
Pokemon?
sit at my desk. I don't have a favorite Pokemon.
For
the
me,
latest
it's Vulpix
game.
and Ninetales.
I mean, I can say my favorites in the latest game probably was Quaquaval.
Which one is that one?
That's in Scarlet and Violet. And Quaquaval is the duck.
Ah, the duck. Gotcha.
He is this is the third evolution, and he is like a salsa dancer.
Yeah, the dancing.
Oh, it's so
duck.
great. I loved it, and he hits so fucking hard.
Have you oh my god, it makes me think about the dancing Lulucolos from Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness with Mirror B's theme because like the way they set the Ludicolo is that they would actually dance to the beat of Mirror B's song. So like they set it up so every time the beat would hit, they would actually move. So it was really cool. Oh man, I should really play that game at some point. It's so good. Also, someone in chat said, completely random question. Do you guys have a favorite soda?
Reed's Ginger Beer Extra.
For me, it's very simple. I love A&W root beer.
A&W root beer is pretty OP. I agree. I like diet A&W root beer. To be perfectly honest, I like it more than regular because I don't like how sweet the regular is.
Gotcha. I think it's funny when people try root beer, but they're like from Britain or something, and like they try root beer, and they're like, ugh!
Japanese people hate it. It tastes like medicine to them.
Really?
Uh-huh. Because it's the mint flavors, the winter mint and the spearmint and all that stuff that flavors it. That tastes like they use those flavors for medicinal purposes.
Ah, okay, that makes sense. I'm also the kind of kid though who loves mint chocolate chip ice cream, so. Well, I was the kid.
I mean, I understand not liking it if you grew up with it as medicine, because like I don't like artificial grape or cherry for that exact reason.
Oh God, For me, I hate fluoride. I hate because whenever they shove those like gums in your mouth to like cover your teeth, and you have to like bite down and have the goop go all over your teeth. And
that's not fluoride. That's a mold. And I hate that too.
That too. The mold is one thing, but like how they would used to do fluoride to me was they would put it in the mold, and I'd have to bite into the mold.
What?
It'd be a fluoride gel. So it's like
maybe I did. I don't know. I try to put that out of my memory. I'm so old now. I don't have to get fluoride treatments anymore.
Oh man.
I count that as a blessing. When you get older, you don't have to deal with nasty shit in your mouth.
When I lived in Japan, Fanta was super popular. Was it?
I think it's still super popular. Calpico. Oh my god, Calpis is so good.
Calpico. What's that?
A yogurt soft drink.
Ooh, sounds pretty good.
My favorite soft drink though, I think over there is Pocari Sweat.
Pocari Sweat. Huh.
It's not really a soft drink. It's more like a sports drink. It's kind of a less sweet Gatorade. It's clear and it tastes kind of like cucumber melon, and it's very refreshing. It's like exactly the thing that you drink every day during the summer to replace your electrolytes.
Apparently, Flip says that nobody else that he knows what Calpico is.
Flip, do you like the plain Calpico or do you like the Calpis or do you like the mango or the lychee? I like the lychee personally, but strawberry is also pretty good. Mango's pretty good.
I miss Sobeys, man. I miss
Melon,
Sobeys.
Sobeys, I don't know what that is.
Whenever I'd go to like a teriyaki place, I would always get a pina colada flavored Sobe. It's a drink brand. They have like mango, pina colada, strawberry milk or something like that.
How do you
It's
spell it?
Sobe. Should have like a dragon on the front or something.
Oh.
So Sobe pina
Oh,
colada.
okay.
I like if I could
I
drink
know
those all the
those.
time.
Yeah, I've
Oh
never.
man.
That's part of the list of American drinks I just don't touch.
I don't even know if that is an American.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Milky is also really good, he says. Calpis slash Calpico of all types is good, says Flip.
Yeah, so it's called Calpis over there, but for obvious reasons they don't call it that in overseas, especially English speaking countries. They changed the name to Calpico because Calpis
Sounds
sounds
like
like cow piss.
yeah, I was gonna say it when you first said it. It sounds like cow piss. I was like, did you
Yeah.
like to drink cow piss?
Yeah, yeah. I think personally Ramune is overrated. Um but melon soda tastes pretty good.
For me, I mean, watermelon's my favorite flavor
Japanese.
for Arizona's. So,
Watermelon doesn't taste the same as Japanese melon. Japanese melon is its own thing. It's kind of a combination of honeydew and cucumber. It's a
oh,
very
interesting.
specific flavor. Um, yeah, no, these are all like Japanese things. That I fell in love with Japan when I was over there. So I didn't live over there. I was there for like 2.5 weeks. But
I would love to visit
like,
Japan someday. That's like on like Japan's like number one on the list of places I'd love to go visit.
if you can do it,
Yeah.
like if you can, and don't like use excuses to not do it. I, for the longest time, had excuses for why I wouldn't do it. And then I finally just got to the point where after we got married, it was like, let's just do it for the honeymoon, even though I had tons of anxiety and I was scared the whole flight over. But I don't regret it.
Ramune is so overrated.
Ramen is overrated. It's so gross. I don't like it. I do not like it. And I mean, like, it's the weeb drink, but it's hard to open and not very much to it, and they're so sweet. Just, no, I don't fuck with ramen.
You don't fuck with Ramune. Oh man. So were there any VTubers who inspired you to become a VTuber?
Hollow Live Myth or
Hollow
Hollow
Myth?
Myth. Yeah.
Yeah, Hollow Myth were really entertaining. Gargura is like the big VTuber that, you know.
She's who got me into it, to be honest. Like, she's not the first VTuber I ever knew about, but she's the first VTuber I ever watched. And um, watching her and Ina like stream, and just I got to the point where I'm like, oh hey, and then also Iron Mouse, but Mousy
Yeah.
is so like good at talking. I just
Oh
can't
yeah.
keep up. Like, I would never be able to be that level of uh I don't know, entertaining. Um,
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I
but it was basically it was Callie that her streaming. I realized that you don't have to be cool. You don't have to be cool to be cool. If you know what I mean? Like, she is
yeah.
so awkward and dorky, and I'm like, I get it. I understand where she's coming from.
Oh man, yeah, no. Like if there's anyone like I really look up to the straight like there's so many people I look up to as content creators. I mean, Doug, yeah, look up to him. I look up to Connor. I also look up to people like there's even smaller creators I look up to now. Like I say smaller, but creators who blew up recently. Like there's this one creator who I really look up to with his use of channel points or whatever
Mm,
predictions, and his name is Astral Spiff. If you've ever heard of him,
no, I haven't.
he became very well known for trying to break Five Nights at Freddy's security breach and various means through speedrunning and different routes, like trying to beat the game without jumping, trying to beat the game without running, and he ended up
Hmm.
causing some severe glitches, game-breaking glitches in the game, such as
Hmm.
spawning an animatronic that would hunt you down to the ends of the earth by complete accident.
Oh, okay.
He's super entertaining, but like
Huh.
there's so many people I've looked up to for my own for content creators.
Mm.
I think like my subscriber list is like over 3,000.
Uh, yeah, sorry, my brain is shut down. It's literally my bedtime.
Yeah, no problem. I was gonna say we've been going on for like over 2 hours, and if you'd like, we can start winding down.
I need to wind down. I have to go to the bathroom. My voice is dead, and I'm very sleepy.
Alrighty, well this was fun. I enjoyed this. This was
I am
fun.
an old lady. I can't stay up late like the young whippersnappers, and I have a job in the morning.
Gotcha. Well, hey, I appreciate you coming onto my talk show and chatting with me. I had a really nice time chatting with you.
Thank you. I had a nice time too. Thank you for inviting me.
No problem. And if you have anyone you think that you know that you want to point my way and be like, hey, you should go talk to Jen on his talk show. I really love that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I said, Radia would absolutely love talking to you. She doesn't see numbers. She doesn't see like she's the most down to earth person. Gigi is awesome. Who else? You've already talked tonight. Talked to Vespa. He's awesome. Vespasian, I should say.
Vespasian?
He's an Asian giant hornet. Um,
Vespasian. How do you spell? Oh, I found him. Oh yeah, I would honestly I'd love to talk to that guy, cause yeah, I'm
he's
following him on Twitter.
he's cool. Bloom, Squishy Bloom is her handle. She's really cool. I'm trying to like just name all my friends at this point. I'm like, but you already know Liz and Damie, so
Yeah. So squishy. Well, I can't spell squish. Squishy blue. Let me see.
Bloom,
Bloom.
Bloom.
Okay, Bloom. I did not spell squishy right. That's probably why. Hold on. There we go. Okay, I found her. Okay. Oh, it's
Uh,
a jellyfish VTuber.
yeah. She just re-debuted, and she has a KVFX model, and I'm so jealous.
What's KVFX?
He is a rigger who is only one of the up and coming huge riggers out there. He did Iron Mouse's most recent model and
Oh.
Snuffy's most recent model.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so
And he's
cool.
the one that does the Marine from the oh shoot, what's the name of that series? The Gyaru dress up girlfriend, my dress up girlfriend. He's
Oh,
the one who created that model,
oh,
based
that's
off the girl from
awesome.
that. So he
Okay.
uses the Marine as his example for all of his spicy assets that he makes.
Dude, people were trying to cancel him recently.
Oh, I don't know. I don't pay attention to
Just
that.
because the fact that people are mad at him because Maureen from Dress Up Darling is underage.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah, it's
she's not underage in Japan.
yeah. I don't know. People are weird.
He's not doing like weird. People just want to cancel people because my girlfriend, dress up darling, whatever, is like,
Successful.
well, there's definitely an amount of people out there that are anti shoujo, anti shonen type things with romance because characters are all underage. But
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, I get where they're coming from too. So I choose to stay out of
Drama.
those discussions.
Yeah.
I watch what I want to watch and I keep to myself.
That's very fair. But yeah, I'm gonna let you go get some sleep. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. I had such a blast.
Mm-hmm. I
Um,
thank you. I hope you get some good clips out of that.
I think there's some good clips. Actually, there's one last thing I want to say before I go because you
Huh.
did say you were gonna be doing Stardew Valley. I kind of just shoot an idea at you because I had this recently. Which is I was thinking about maybe just making like a Stardew Valley, but like get one of those modded maps and make it so like I just like make it like an open door, so anyone can, any streamer can come in anytime and hop on the farm, and just
Hmm.
stream. Just like
I,
a random
I
idea.
I mean, that sounds cool. I would have to be like okay with the game. Like, I don't even know if I'd like the game or not. So,
Yeah. Well, what I mean is, I was trying to see if you just like the idea. Like, I wasn't so much trying to
oh, no,
invite you to
that's
it.
cool. Yeah, no, no. Well, yeah, no, that's a cool idea.
Yeah.
Similar to SMPs. So,
Kinda, yeah. Like I was thinking more like what are they, like sitcoms where people can walk through the door at any time,
mm,
kind of like that. But yeah. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna let you go. Have a good night. Thank you so much for joining. It was fun, and thank
have a
you
good
everyone so much for
night.
watching. Thank you
Thank
everyone.
you.
If you weren't already, make sure you go check out Spinna in the description. All her socials. She's awesome, really cool, wonderful guest. And
Thank
yes,
you.
and everyone, have a good one. Bye
Have a
bye.
good night.